One of the many occupational hazards of being, a Taylor Swift adjacent content creator is that I have to see a lot of nonsense on the internet. I have to contend with a level of delusion that I think is rightfully and safely kept out of way of public view. And today, as your messy boots on the groundologist, as your breaking news disaster scene reporter, I am showing you the most stupid shit that I can find on the internet about the complete ridiculous, histrionic overreaction to Taylor Swift deciding to date Travis Kelce and them having literally one physical encounter and the entire internet having a total mental breakdown about that. If you have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, then you need to go and watch my last video where I kind of break down exactly what went on, which is that Taylor Swift went to a football game at the behest of a certain tight end by the name of Travis Kelce. She was invited by him, and she went to the game. She cheered at the game. She said, "Let's fucking go." She banged her hands on the glass enclosure, and she drove off into the sunset in a getaway car with this man. And ever since, nothing really has happened. Like, technically, nothing has really happened since then. Travis Kelce made a couple of comments on his podcast, very vague, general statements being like, I'm interested. I had a good weekend. I request that everybody, respect our privacy. I suspect that he got a letter in his mailbox telling him to shut up, but I digress. The issue really is that despite nothing happening and despite them literally going on one date, some of the internet is convinced that he is abusive. Some of the internet is convinced that they are going to get married. And then there's a whole other section of the internet that thinks that this is some sort of grand conspirational cover-up for a very popular Taylor Swift conspiracy theory that has suddenly gone mainstream. Now, if you know me, you know that I don't address that particular conspiracy theory. So I won't be talking about that angle of it on my YouTube channel because this is a sacred space where we do holy and wonderful things and we have a kiki, and that is not a kiki to me. So if you want to bring any of that specific conspiracy energy into my comment section, you won't make it in the door. I will block you. I will delete your comments. So don't try. If you can believe it, despite nothing happening, someone has written a book, a smutty book about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. We're going to kind of get into that a little bit later. I don't want to traumatize you all too much, so I won't be showing you a lot of that, but it's there. I just want to show you the magnitude of what we're dealing with here. We have the NFL acting the fool. We have the Empire State Building putting on a clown nose. We have Heinz doing pathetic, loserish, begging behavior. I mean, the Taylor Swift business is bigger than it ever has been. And I desperately want to implore those of you who are deeply invested in this. I can't even call it a relationship because their first date was literally her watching him on a pitch. Sorry, a pitch is not the right word. On the field. I got corrected in my last video. It's her watching him on the field from a glass box and saying, "Let's go," eating chicken tenders, and then going to an after party. That's not a relationship. Not yet. Could it be? Sure, maybe. Who knows? But also, who cares? That really is, the point that I want to drive home here is that there's a difference between kind of enjoying the spectacle of Taylor dating in public. Clearly, she doesn't mind people talking about this because otherwise she wouldn't show up to a stadium full of thousands of people with her face pressed against the glass. If she didn't want people to talk about it, she would not be conducting herself in this way. But just because it's public fodder, it's information, doesn't mean that you need to be weird. Doesn't mean that you need to be weird. And this video is going to be, I guess, part reacting to TikToks again. And when I tell you that reacting to swifttok, my video, the last one that I did, went down poorly on TikTok, it went down like a bag of sick. The girls were not happy. And to the girls, I have to say, if you put stuff out on the internet, you have to expect that people will respond to it. It's something called fair use. I had one of the girlies say that I had to take my video down, the whole video. And I was like, no, I don't. And you can't make me. So that's my message to the Swift talkers who might be getting preemptively upset at being included in this video. You put it out there in public and, stand by your opinions. You can make content with any of my content and share your opinions on it. It's out there. I put it in the public domain. I have to deal with how it comes back to me. And if you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Zach. I'm the Swiffologist and I make thoughtful content about pop culture. Lately, I've just been having a kiki, but if you scroll back a little bit, there is quite a bit of thoughtful stuff up there. Shortly after this video comes up, we are going to be releasing a new episode of The Evolution of a Snake, getting into this particular scenario in a lot more analytical detail, long form if you like podcasts. Evolution of Snakes where you need to be. Patreon.com/Swiftologist for extras if you're already a fan of the pod and you want a little bit extra. And did you know that half of you that watch my videos regularly are not subscribed? Why aren't you doing that? It's upsetting to me. Come on, you're here all the time. You love the takes, you love the tea. You should hit the subscribe button. It would make my day. And I have one more announcement to make. I will be streaming live on Twitch. That's going to be my new journey as a content creator. I can't use copyright music on YouTube really, even in my live streams. They get really annoyed about that. And I keep, when I'm going to do my video essays about music, I keep wanting to like sit there and watch music videos and like point to specific moments in songs and be like, listen to this or pay attention to this. And I don't think I can do that here. But Twitch, because I don't have to keep the videos uploaded and also their copyright system seems a little bit different, I'm going to be able to do some explorations there. So one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to watch the 1989 tour front to back. So if you'd like to see that live, go and follow me on Twitch. I have that linked down below. I'm the Swiftologist on Twitch. And my tentative rough schedule is that I will be live twice a week for 2 to 3 hours on Tuesdays from 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Friday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 12 or 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I asked everyone to send me things to react to. So I guess we can just get into that now. I have a couple of tweets. I have many TikToks and a lot of hopelessness and despair that I feel in my heart at this very moment.
They're gonna get married. What? No.
It's been 2 minutes. I just made a video about this and posted it, and then this video popped up on my For You page, and she's 100% right. But even if you think, they've only been together for 2 minutes, and you're one of the people that are like, this is what they said about Joe, she's not gonna marry him, listen to me. I know somebody
who said that?
Worked
Everyone
on a
thought they were
going to
get
Taylor
married.
Swift a couple of years ago. It was
so you're an
filmed in the
insider.
Nashville area. It was a very small, like 1 or 2 day
commercial
thing.
in the Nashville
and when I
area.
tell you the level of security that it took just for her to film a small commercial on another level. They constructed
Everybody
an
knows
entire
that.
awning
She's the most
for her
famous
to be able
person
to
in the
walk
world,
from
genius.
one building to another without anybody being able to see
An
her.
awning is not hard to construct.
So when I tell you that Miss Taylor
that's like
does not appear
piece
in
of metal and a
public
cloth.
unless she damn well wants to, please believe me. She is not
okay,
in a
I don't get how that
convertible
means they're going to get
where
married.
Every paparazzi member can take pictures of her unless it is planned. It is part of the plot. But let's talk about the security
What
again.
plot? She's a person.
In order for her to
not
be
a character.
At that stadium
I think people forget that.
Her security detail, the stadium security people, probably
This is
the
just how
owners
she
of
lives
the
her
Chiefs,
life.
all of the people that are like involved.
There's nothing
with
special
the NFL,
about that.
Probably the local police. Everybody had to be involved to get her in that box that day. If anybody was
how is
surprised
this
about
going
it, they were just
to
not a
they're
part
going to
of the
get
team of
married?
People that needed to know. You don't pay all of those people to do that. And I know she's rich and I don't care, but you don't do that.
There's a child in the car.
You're making a statement.
You should stop doing this and attend to them.
Something serious. They're not casually dating. They are already firmly in a serious relationship. I bet you that they have said "I love you" to each other. And I said it in my last video, but I'll say it again here. I think Taylor.
Okay, 1 + 1 is 11:5.
She wants, you know, her and Blake and Ryan and Travis to all like get the kids together on the weekends.
Babe, you're projecting.
And I know that people have their opinions about Travis Kelce's past romantic relationships. I don't care. That man has dad. He has dad energy. He has airport dad energy. He's gonna take care of her.
So weird. What's so crazy to me about TikTok is people will like present things in a very seemingly reasonable way and then just jump to the craziest, most fuck-ass conclusion out of nowhere. So her point was that because Taylor needs a lot of security and she always has a detail following her around and it's relatively difficult for her to go anywhere, that if she went through all the effort of going to this game, then they must be getting married. Can you explain to me how that equation adds up? But this is just the way that Taylor has to live her life. It would be the same if she was going to, I don't know, a Selena Gomez concert, if she was going to a premiere with Blake Lively. This is just the way that she has to live. She doesn't have a normal life, and this is to her normal. Like having to do all these things, these sweeps, and like keep track of who's who and who she's meeting where. These are just kind of like parts of the job. They're not nice parts of the job, but they are realities that she just has to live with. And I think, you know, to say that because she went on one date with a guy who she barely even saw because he was running around in his tidy whities the entire time and she was with all of his besties and his mom, to say that she's ready to get married because she went to a football game is like really extra crazy. If you know anything about Taylor Swift, if you've been following the career, if you listen to the music, if you parse the lyrics, if you kind of try and pick up on the context clues that have been given, Taylor's not interested in settling down at the moment. Every single source, you know, for Entertainment Tonight or for People Magazine, noted Tree Payne friendly relationships. Her publicist they have been saying, yeah, Taylor was enjoying her time with Maddie Healy. She was enjoying her time with Travis Kelce. But the next qualifier was always, she's very focused on work right now. She has an insane schedule coming up for the next year and like a million different balls in the air right now. I think the last thing from her mind is settling down and moving out of the public eye. If anything, this year we've seen a total renegotiation of her relationship with being a public figure. She's clearly very happy to be the it girl, and I do not see that ending anytime soon. There's been a renewed focus on her female friendships, of going out and hanging out in New York City, very reminiscent of the 1989 era where, you know, before she got wrapped up with Calvin Harris, she was living a very independent life. So I think to say that just because you like the guy that she's gone on a date with, that means they're going to get married and have children. Taylor has very complicated feelings about having children as well. That has been expressed in multiple songs. And, you know, I don't think she's ready to be running away to the lakes where all the poets went to die. She tried to do that, and look how it worked out. The heirloom turkey, dead. Also, I don't understand why we're so obsessed with marriage. Why does it have to go straight from like one date to they are getting married? Everybody is very obsessed with Taylor getting married, and I can't help but wonder, is it because she's like a woman of a certain age and we expect women of a certain age to at least show signals or signs of getting married, of settling down? We feel culturally that it is like okay to ask people about their intentions to do that. We don't really consider that maybe that path isn't for everyone, especially when we're talking to a woman of that age rather than a man. It seems to me very patriarchal. Okay, here's another one.
That is going to marry Travis Kelce, and
again
how I
with
know
the marriage
this is the Dusty ex-boyfriend effect, which I completely made up, but 100% believe in.
Yeah, that's really how to describe TikTok. Something I made up, but 100% believe it.
Break up and you get this like new freedom, and then you date like a total loser, and then directly after the breakup with the total loser, you meet your husband.
You're just making this up.
Maddie Healy, Travis Kelce. You met your husband. Exhibit A. She took a ride home in his classic car last night.
Which of course means that she's ready to go to the chapel and put a ring on. Yes, of course.
This is her husband, and you can't convince me otherwise. And then, allegedly, Jamal posted
You guys are so
little,
fucking weird.
Tip that came in that may or may not be true.
Demois, noted purveyor of factual information, always.
Requested to come on the family bus to the game.
Maybe she didn't want to go alone.
I mean, that sounds like she already met his mom before.
Have you thought about that?
Otherwise, she's just confident because she's Taylor Swift. She's
like, that's it. She's insane. Right? She's the most socially confident person in the world.
Getting married.
There's something very weird about the way that people are insisting that she's going to marry him, and it feels like a really strange form of projection. I'm finding it hard to articulate why. It's like a very specific kind of like millennial white woman who is completely and totally obsessed with Taylor marrying the kind of like stereotypical idea of American masculinity that has just like a slightly softer edge, because he's like a silly, goofy man. He's not like hard, scary, masculine man. He's still very masculine. He's white. He's big. He's burly. It seems like a lot of dick envy. That seems to be what it is. Like, you want that dick so bad that you're telling us how you would behave if it was yours. But it's not.
Kelce he, ooh, 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 ooh. Baby, you belong with me.
Okay, me jump scare. You have to I need to know before I encounter that song in the wild. Again, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Go outside. Get a hobby.
I think, this is my personal opinion with absolutely no proof, no evidence to back it up.
Well, that's what everything on TikTok is these days.
Relationship patterns and my personal theory. I think Taylor Swift is going to marry Travis Kelce. And I know I'm jumping the gun, so let me explain. So often in relationships, you see a pattern.
Why are we obsessed with her getting married? It's weird.
A long relationship. And
one date.
Within 2 years of breaking up,
one date.
Other people. The same thing happened with Justin Bieber. He was with Selena Gomez, our queen, for 8 years off and on, and then he married Hailey Baldwin 2 months after their final breakup. There's more examples of that happening. Do you think that that is a pattern and that's something that happens often? The reason I think that is going to happen with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce is because as soon as Taylor Swift broke up with Joe Alwyn, and she made it extremely obvious that she had wanted to get married and he didn't, via her song on tour, literally shading him against.
I don't really think that The Archer is about shading Joe Alwyn. But But I'll continue.
Immediately I said she's going to marry the next person she's in an actual relationship with. How do I think she's going to marry Travis?
And of course, you are always right, Queen.
I think that Travis Kelce has talked about Taylor Swift in the media within like 2 months.
You guys.
The same amount as Joe Alwyn in 7 years. That's crazy. Especially because Taylor did mention him in her Grammy speech, her documentary.
One time.
She did talk about him. She just didn't disclose personal details about their relationship, which is what being private is. Travis Kelce's already extremely supportive of Taylor Swift, already expressed that he had a crush on her. He tried to give her his number.
And so, of course, they're going to get married.
And laughing with his
Maddie
mom
Healy
at
said a lot of
his
nice things about Taylor
He's a
Swift.
football player, but I know
Are they
nothing
getting
about
married?
sports. She started to realize...
Where's her ring?
I don't know a lot about him, but he seems like a down-to-earth, really wholesome, sweet person from this.
I don't know anything about him, but I'm sure
her.
that
They
he's
seem
the one
really
Taylor Swift
happy
is going to
together.
marry. Okay, she ends up saying that she thinks they're going to get married between 2024 and 2027, again with the math. That's not even math. That's just like saying stuff to say stuff. Like, could you let us know what brought you to that conclusion? No, it's just a feeling that you have. And something that I think we need to abolish on the internet is trusting feelings that other people have, because they're usually not true. The way that everybody is saying how happy they look together, the literal only photographic evidence that we have of them are them walking down a hallway and getting into a car, so that in the back of their heads, and her arm wrapped around him at a party. That's it. By the same measure, she was thrilled and enchanted to be with Maddie Healy every single day of her life, and also Joe Alwyn was the perfect person for her ever in the world. In fact, anyone that she just shows any affection to whatsoever is suddenly her next husband. This isn't the worst one of them all, though. It's just, I don't understand where the logical gap is between this is cute and it looks like they're having fun and I love this era for her, to she's getting married tomorrow on this day in this year and this is why. I don't get it. So I know I said I don't address a certain sect of the internet and conspiracy theorists in the Taylor Swift community, but I couldn't help myself because this person is a menace. You know, someone's got to be the counterweight to this crazy shit that is allowed to be said in public. If you can say this stuff, someone has got to hold you accountable. And it's shocking to me that mainstream media publications are like creating space for this kind of content to arise. But, you know, this is going to be probably the one and only time I address this topic on my channel, so buckle up.
When you're a journalist whose special interests collide, you have to write about it. I'm a sports writer who's written a book about football. And
that's fine.
I'm a Swiftie who has written features on Gaylerism.
You see,
Basically,
let me just stop there. Let's pause. Here's the thing about having Gaylerism as your journalistic interest. Being a journalist who adamantly believes a conspiracy theory means that you are not a very good journalist, period. Because journalism is about speaking truth to power. It's about using evidence to make fact-based assertions. And this specific thing that this writer has a special interest in is made up. At the very best, it is hearsay. You cannot say with any certainty that there is truth to that theory, despite what they will all tell you, and no matter what math they want to do to have you believe that it's true. As a trained journalist, which I suspect this person is not, you should know better.
The Travis Kelce Taylor Swift rumors are right up my alley. So I have a piece
crazy alley?
CNN today. It's about the media frenzy around this relationship.
Let me guess what angle you're going to take on this.
Whether or not they're actually dating doesn't really matter.
I'm going to guess your answer to that would be no, because it's a front and a cover for a conspiracy.
Have received some really harmful messaging about consent, and
of
how to
course
get the girl.
Wow, look at their face when they say that. They're so happy. Gotcha.
Obvious, right? It's kind of like the prom king and queen are getting together, the like hottest guy in school, the football star, and you know, the most beautiful.
How are we going to do woke Olympics to make this about Gaylor?
It's, you know,
somehow
like an early Taylor Swift song come to life. However, sports media and the men, particularly who are part of sports media, have been like foaming at the mouth over this relationship, right? And the important thing to know about this is that before yesterday, when Taylor Swift showed up at Travis Kelce's game, Taylor Swift had done absolutely nothing
this is
to
getting on my
stoke
nerves.
these rumors at all. In fact, her team had issued several denials. She had been completely silent, and she'd spent all of this time being photographed out and about with other women, actually.
This is where the crazy starts to happen, I think. Okay, I'm going to take a beat there and just throw out clarification, I don't think that it was the heterosexual male sports media that was the main propagator of these rumors. I don't know that they started this rumor. And the repeated use of the word rumor here leads me to believe that we're going to go somewhere here into, maybe not in this article, because hopefully CNN would have the sense to edit any conspiracy theories out of a piece. But I'm going to guess that this person's natural conclusion to whatever they're going to say is going to be, this relationship is obviously fake and a front. That's what I'm guessing.
And all of this time being photographed out and about with other women, actually.
Oh,
and so
right, because she's a secret lesbian, of course.
These men have had, the fact that they have made this a news item for weeks, reveals a lot about the way that heterosexual male entitlement still permeates so much of mainstream culture.
Does it?
This matters, right? Because
does it?
The boys and men who are consuming this content are going to go on to date women. The message that these men
What's wrong about the
is
coverage
that
has
just
been
persistent enough?
Oh, here it is.
They can wear a woman down, and eventually she's going to say yes, right? It's that same
this
narrative
is so
that we
fucking
see
stupid.
reinforced by romantic comedies, where persistence, that like dogged nice guy trope, the guy who's basically showing up and stalking a woman who hasn't really been interested in him.
Okay, so we're likening Travis
has a happy
Kelce
ending. He
to a
eventually
stalker.
gets the girl if he just waits
right.
long enough.
That seems to be a
And look,
great conclusion.
This plays out in the real world. Most straight women who have been on a dating app have horror stories about men who message them over and over and over again for years, even after they don't write back or they haven't said.
See,
yes,
this is a false
I'm
equivalency.
interested.
This is
There was a
extremely
trend for a while
misleading
of women
presentation
posting
of a
screenshots
real
of
issue
messages
with
from
a
men
non-issue.
who continue to reach out to them for years despite no reciprocation. I love this term. Mel Magazine actually called it pleading into the void. And even though this entire relationship
So is your argument that Travis
really
is
feels
doing
like
that?
one big PR stunt, I
There
think
you
it has
go.
revealed
Knew it. I knew
something
we would
really,
be going
really
there.
toxic and really, really
That you're a
insidious
terrible
about straight
journalist?
dating culture and
Is that what it
entitlement.
revealed?
And that is
I
my
think
beef
so.
with this
I think
whole
so,
thing.
babe.
Just
I think
hasn't
so.
sit right.
That's your
Anyway,
beef.
If you are interested in reading more, I will.
I'm not. Thank you. I've had enough crazy for one day. I think that that was one of the most infuriating TikToks I've ever seen in my entire life because it makes use of like real issues, distorts them in a certain way, and contorts it to fit a narrative that this person has in their head. Don't let them fool you. Their main motivation of this video and of their work as a Taylor-interested conspiracy theorist is that they would like to convince you that Taylor Swift is a secret lesbian that is waiting to come out of the closet or can't for whatever reason, or is deliberately obscuring her sexuality from the public. These people will do and say anything to try and make you believe that point. And they will go in every different direction. They will try every specific angle. They will take seemingly reasonable issues and facts or completely non-related events, put them together and present them to you in a way that inevitably all leads to one conclusion. Every relationship Taylor Swift has ever had with a man is fake and she's a liar and she's concealing the fact that she's just one big old lesbian. I can't express to you how not here for that I am and how damaging, disrespectful, dishonest, and dangerous I think this rhetoric is, and I hate how mainstream this is becoming. And I think that, you know, giving people like this a platform on mainstream media outlets is truly irresponsible, and it really, you know, lowers the credibility and the value of your journalism. So CNN, whoever the freelance editor is, and you seriously need to do a little bit more of due diligence when you're hiring people to write stuff like this. The assertion that Travis Kelce is somehow a stalker or a misogynist for expressing public interest in Taylor Swift and sending her a text and inviting her to a game, that, you know, something also that we completely skip over in these conversations about Taylor's relationships being cover-ups or fake or whatever is her agency. Taylor is literally apparently some sort of like helpless person who can't make her own decisions, doesn't have her own brain. The thing that this person declined to mention in this entire episode was that Taylor went to the game and she had a great time and she looked like she was having the time of her life. Did that look like a person who was scared or intimidated or, you know, came under duress or the threat of violence or felt like they really had to go there and do that? What was the purpose of it? I mean, I'm sure, you know, they can come up with some excuse for it because that's what conspiracy theorists do. They distort reality. But, you know, I'm irate. I can't. I really hate this.
Taylor Swift's brief relationship with Maddie Healy was a cover-up for a relationship with Travis Kelce. Let's talk about it. Now,
okay, at least we're not going in the other
many
direction.
people were confused
I'll
because
take this over the one
Maddie
before.
controversy surrounding him, and Taylor could do 1,000 times better. And places that Taylor and Maddie were
True.
going to were also places that Travis Kelce was going to, such as the Zero Bond Club in New York. It was clear from the media this week that Taylor and Travis have a familiarity with each other that just couldn't have started over the past few weeks.
Why is
And I
everyone
think they're
obsessed with
pretending that
this
everything
being like a
started in July when
long
Travis had come
courtship.
At this point,
It's like everybody just wants this to be so serious.
By linking Taylor with somebody
They're not.
controversial, all the focus is going to be on that. Paparazzi are going to fly to them. Our social media posts are going to be focused on why we dislike Maddie Healy. And with that, nobody will be paying attention to who Taylor Swift could possibly be meeting behind closed doors. Taylor Swift is very smart.
Girl, that Maddie Healy episode, let me tell you, was not thought out by anyone in that circumstance. Not by The Rat, not by Taylor Swift, not by Taylor Swift's team. Nobody really thought that through. That was just kind of a glitch, literally. But you know what? I think people find it very hard to stomach that Taylor is currently in a phase of casually dating people. She's just, playing the field, testing her options. She just got out of a really long-term relationship. Like any normal girly, she's probably not ready to give it all up for one person again. She's like playing the field and having a good time and just, exploring all of the options that are available to her as one of the most beautiful and successful, wealthy young females in this world. She has, every man at her beck and call. And the insistence on, this Travis Kelce thing being like the end game is so bizarre to me. Can she not just be casually dating? Can she not just have gotten a text with her girlfriends that said, come to my game? And she went, fuck it, I'm going to go. And she did. That is more realistic than all this nonsense that is being done. Oh my God. Okay, this video is one of the funniest things I have ever seen, and not in the way that this woman intended it to be.
I'm so excited that Taylor Swift gets to be small girl with Travis Kelce because he is large boy and gets to be small girl. He can just scoop her up. She's not gonna be the monster. She gets to be small girl. Small girl. She always dates these medium men, and now she has a large boy. But I do worry, Travis. I don't know if you've thought this through. But if you hurt Taylor's
is mental
feelings,
illness.
You gotta get on the planetary shuttle with Elon. Because you can't be, I don't think that you could safely be on this planet if you hurt her feelings, okay? You just make a little take. Let her be small girl. I'm so excited that Taylor's...
I can't. I really wanted to try and imitate her, but I can't do that. I can't make myself do that. Just small girl. That is... millennials, I'm a Gen Z millennial cusp. I'm a zillennial. And when I see millennials behaving like this, I'm like, yeah, I really lean more towards the Gen Z spectrum of things, because the fact, and I looked at this woman's TikTok page, all of her videos are like some variation of this behavior. I don't know what to call it. Is it a voice? Is it an accent? Is it a character? Is it a demon? Is it a possession? Do we need to go and get her an exorcism? The word that really took me out was smedium for this small girl. Wow. You know what's really concerning? When Donald Trump's perspective makes more sense than the Swifties' perspective on a scenario. He said he weighed in on their relationship and said, I wish the best for both of them. I hope they enjoy their life. Maybe together, maybe not. Most likely not. Donald Trump, noted terrible person, horrible politician, very bad for this world, excellent entertainer. That man has the gift of the gab. He's a great troll. And sometimes, a broken clock is right twice a day. Here is a video that I just couldn't bring myself to watch. Taylor Swift's first single after breaking up with Travis Kelce. You stole my heart. You intercepted it. Now you've gone. Have to accept it. I just when people write Taylor-inspired songs or poetry, or they change the words to songs, I just kind of wonder, what's going on at home? When you're alone and the TV's off and you're lying in bed before you go to sleep, do you think that you are living a purposeful life? Or are you kept awake having these delusional ideas? I don't know. We have this insane merch. It says, loving him was red. I'll be 87. You'll be 89, with his number and a lyric from Mary's song. I have to respect the hustle. This company, that was a fast turnaround. You did that quickly. And anybody who wears that, you know what? I actually want to wear that to the Eras tour as a joke, as a troll. I want to do that as a troll. I've been thinking I want to do a troll costume for one of the evenings, and this might be that. Maybe this is my time to shine. I get a lot of questions about, like, do I think Taylor's rapidly approaching a period of overexposure? And I can only say yes at this point because she has the Midas touch. Like, everything that she comes into contact with gets this sudden boost of popularity and interest. I mean, look at these facts. 400% spike in Travis Kelce jersey sales. 400% spike in jersey sales. His podcast goes #1. He gains almost 400,000 Instagram followers. 24 million viewers watch. There is a 3 times increase in Chiefs sales on StubHub, and they sold more tickets than the start of the season. It is scary to me, like, how out of control the Taylor Swift thing is getting. I wonder if it frightens her. I wonder how she feels about, like, conglomerates and organizations globbing off of her success like this and kind of getting some of the residual shine and attention from her very hard-won legacy. You know, the Empire State Building, Heinz, all of these weird organizations just kind of, I don't know, using her to their benefit. I wonder how she feels about that. I saved the most mentally ill for last. You won't believe that there could be something worse than the Gaylor one, but there is. We have known about this for 3 days. Okay, there is copyrighted music all over this TikTok, so I'm just gonna read the blurb of it to you, okay? This is a book that was written in 3 days. First of all, any book that was written in 3 days is a garbage book. He's a football superstar. I love how it says 69 on her shirt. It's a smutty novel, in case you can't tell. He's a football superstar. She's a pop star princess, and the whole world is watching. For the last 2 months, rumors have been swirling that I have a crush on the world's biggest pop star, and the rumors are true. Yes, I went to her concert and tried to beat her, and yes, I got turned away by my security thanks to my brother not being able to keep his big mouth shut. That's what started all this speculation, but it's also what got me her number. Somehow the tabloids found out that we've been texting, but that's all they know. They don't know what we say in those texts, and they definitely don't know what kind of pictures she sends me. Now I've sent her tickets to come watch my next home game. My teammates don't believe she'll come, but I know she will. If she doesn't, it's her loss, because I've been dreaming about our first meeting for months, and the things I'm going to do to her are too sinful to be reported in the tabloids. I mean, I don't even really need to say anything. I don't need to comment on that. I'm just going to let you sit with it. You sit with that. You digest that. Go read the book if you want. Apparently it's crazy. I will not be reading. I will not be engaging. But if you like this video, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and let me know what you think the craziest thing you've seen so far has been. Come find me on Twitch, where we can, listen to music and have a real kiki.